So we're here at the HQ for the Smart Mobility Living Lab in Woolwich. We're going to go and take a look around.
Within the Smart Mobility Living Lab, we've invested heavily in the different instrumentation. The whole purpose of the facility really is to help people to develop, test and validate their new mobility technologies, but also the services that underpin that. So the instrumentation is there to really enable us to both gather the evidence to help independently assess how the performance of a vehicle starts to operate. So this is where we've got a selection of the infrastructure that's behind me that we'll talk through in a second. The reason that we've located all of that infrastructure has been very, very deliberate. We're very fortunate across the whole testbed facility in having a variety of different operating environments, different road types, but particular road features. So we've got over 1,000 different road features that we've been assessing for different types of levels of complexity. So things like mini roundabouts, lots of different people driving different styles around those locations.
Yes.
They are remarkably complicated environments.
Yeah.
So if you're bringing new technology which isn't perhaps ready for that type of environment, we're able to advise that maybe there are different routes, different locations to support that with. The Cisco infrastructure has really become the foundation of a lot of the roadside infrastructure that we're using, and ultimately how that feeds through to the data center. So across the testbed, there's 276 of these Cisco 8400 cameras.
A lot of cameras.
An awful lot of cameras. So some of them are looking just in one direction. Sometimes we have 2 cameras on one pole.
Okay.
But it's really to make sure that we understand the particular feature, as we referred to earlier. So the cameras are infrared, which means that we can start to run tests and trials in daytime or nighttime conditions, which is really great for that versatility. The great thing about the cameras is it not only gives us a view of what's happening at that point in time for trial management purposes, it also enables us to start to understand the context of why a particular event's occurring. We're also using that when we start to run different trials more focused on cooperative infrastructure, where we're starting to dynamically classify those objects and feed those through so that we can then transmit that data to the roadside and particularly to vehicles alongside that, which brings me neatly on to this grey box. So this is a V2X unit. It's a Coda Mark V roadside unit. So this is a DSRC based, so a short range communication radio. The way that we're using these within the facility is to start to support interaction with different vehicles. So we're using these to transmit data to vehicles on our infrastructure. So these can be messages such as traffic signal data. It can be information like different cooperative awareness messages. So there might be a broken down vehicle around the corner, or it could be things such as alerts that an ambulance or emergency service vehicle is nearby. There's a wealth of different applications, and this becomes a really, really important part in making sure that vehicles and infrastructure can work in tandem to give great results for cities. On the back of the post here, we've got this white box. So this is an enclosure that contains power over Ethernet switch. So what this really enables us to do is make sure that we have the capacity to scale up the solutions that we're offering clients. So a really, really fundamental part of that is ensuring that we've got the structural integrity on the lamp columns. So we've replaced a lot of those lamp columns across the network, but also we've got the power and the connectivity that means that we can add additional sensors, but also that our clients can come and bring their cameras, their radar units, anything else that you might be able to throw up a column. We've got the right environment to do that with. So ensuring that we've got that long-term scalability is really key. So it's been designed in a very modular way, working with those Cisco systems.
James, we have taken a walk outside the HQ here at Woolwich. Tell us why we're standing here.
Okay, so we're at one of our monitoring sites. So if you look over the side of the road over there, we've got a large mesh site. So each of our sites has a fairly similar setup. We've got a combination of what we're calling meshes and master columns to send all the data from the cameras across. The master column's then connected via an Ethernet cable, which runs through to our cabinet. So within the cabinet, once we've run from the master cabinet column, we have the IE4K, which is where all the different hardware connects into. So that's a switch. Connected to that, we also have the IR1101. That's a small local compute device. It's also got cellular connectivity. So we're using that to start to bring together the different V2X messages. All of that's connected into the NCS 540 device from Cisco, which is in turn connected into our fibre network.
Okay.
So within the Smart Mobility Living Lab, we've got a 20 kilometres worth of private fibre network.
Okay.
That enables us to really manage the latency, run safety critical, low latency applications. And critically, while we're very, very close to our headquarters here, other sites are much, much further away.
Okay.
So we can manage that for the different types of trials that we'll be running.
Okay. And as we've been building this, you were talking about kind of the private fibre network and elements like that. To what extent have you tried to kind of future-proof the site for sort of future use beyond sort of the here and now?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we've been really focused on is what we need to start to have in place to run future V2X applications.
Yeah.
So having different levels of local compute capability, as well as the different connectivity points. So we've got 4G and LTE.
Okay.
We've also got the capacity to bring in 5G when that arrives.
Okay, great.
So that enables us to really scale this up. So we can add additional sensors, additional compute, depending on what client requirements are and as technology evolves.
So how do customers access all of this data that we're collecting?
We offer an end-to-end data solution. It gives us an end-to-end CAD repository and processing with the Cisco solutions and the cloud data platform that we've got.
So Ollie, we're in what appears to be the nerve centre of the facility. Tell us where we're sitting right now.
So this is the SMLL control room in our headquarters in Woolwich. And this office is really designed to be able to visualise all the data that's being transmitted from our roadside units going via our data centre. And this is the room where you can really visualise that data coming back and for analysis purposes or for many different sort of purposes.
How do you imagine or envisage that customers would be using the control room?
Yeah, so this room could be used for multiple different things really. It could be used for the planning side, so when you're trying to understand what sort of trial you want to undertake or where you might want to set up equipment or run some vehicle trials. It could be used from the management side as well, so when you're actually running those trials, monitoring the vehicles in real time can be done as well.
Safety has obviously been baked into everything that we do in SMLL. Tell us a little bit about how we ensure that everything we do here is of the highest safety standards.
At SMLL, safety is at the heart of everything we do. We have an onboarding process that we take our customers through. It's a simple process that we've put together through collaboration with other testbeds and Testbed UK. So it allows the easy transfer of customers between one testbed and another. So this helps us to look at your safety case and your risk management to see if you're ready to go onto the road, to start your trials at SMLL.
I know obviously a huge amount of time and effort went into finding the perfect location for the HQ for SMLL. Tell us a little bit about the criteria that you used when you were on that venue hunt.
We wanted it to be in a good transport area, it's kind of easily accessible for everyone, but we also wanted it to be a good environment for service test and kind of service trial. There are residential, there are kind of business environments around here with a variety of different kind of potential user groups that could be quite interested in doing kind of trials.
We are here in the workshop. Tell us a little bit about what it is that we're looking at here.
So the SMLL workshop is an area located directly on the test bed that allows our customers to come in and use this space to make adjustments to their vehicles that they would otherwise have to do in their workshops that they have back at their own bases. And be able to make on-the-fly adjustments to be able to further their testing and make that development a little bit quicker.
Okay, and I mean it's a big space here. We've got two vehicles parked in here already. So how many customers or how many vehicles could you have in here at one time?
So we've currently got 3 vehicle bays. As you say, there are 2 of our vehicles in here at the moment, but they aren't permanently based here, so you can have up to 3 different customers, or if there's a customer with 3 vehicles, they can park them all in here at the same time.
We've got 4 different charge points in this workshop area, which are 22 kilowatt AC charging. Those are Schneider charge points, but they are OCPP compliant, which means Open Charge Point Protocol compliant. This means that they can communicate with any other kind of manufacturer or software or hardware and that means that all the clients have got options on what they'd like to use with them.
Essentially, any customer can bring in any type of electric vehicle and it will work on our charge points.
Yes, it should do. These are just type 2 charge points, so they're not ultra fast charging, but we do have one of those downstairs. But all of the charge points are also smart charge points, so that means that if capacity ever becomes an issue, we can load balance and manage that.
So at the moment we're in the informal seating area, which we actually designed to be multifunctional, which will allow us to be able to transform this area if we have an event on that we can use to do a presentation. There's a screen that comes down here, seat up to 50 people.
So we thought you can't think about the future of transport really without considering the future of the planet as well, and so we wanted to bring that consideration into the facilities too. We've tried to make sustainability one of our key considerations throughout the build, and so particularly in this area we used some remanufactured furniture where we could, which includes a lot of the chairs and desks that you can see around, as well as in the working rooms over here too.
So how easy is it for customers to travel between the Woolwich HQ and the Plexel site here?
The two locations are very well linked, both by road. So it would be relatively simple for vehicles to move between the two locations, but also for staff. So there is a DLR connection between the two areas, and there is a continuous kind of direct free shuttle between the Stratford International Station, where DLR and the Tube is located, and Plexel.
Why do we need a second site?
So the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park was obviously built for the 2012 Olympics, so all of the road structure is much newer.
Yeah.
Obviously built with safety in mind from the sort of ground up. So compared with the roads that we have in the test bed in Woolwich, they're obviously much wider. We have better footpaths. The traffic signals are all not trying to fit in within a city. They've been created around that city. Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park site offers a complete resilience to the Woolwich site, so it offers a mirror image of what you would be seeing at Woolwich. So in the case of anything happening at the Woolwich site, we can move over to the Plexel site and vice versa.
So we hope you've enjoyed having a look around the facilities and capabilities that we have here at the Smart Mobility Living Lab in London. We very much look forward to welcoming you here in person sometime soon.